वदान्ति च वदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापद्गमनं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपां सारजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं सावधूतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णवृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिधि नामने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रसादिने निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाशादेशधारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेमा प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरपते नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते सप्तकांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धु एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्त हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. You can open the hearts. You can put in your see this verse. Okay, we can hear. So verse number 4.24.15. यद्युक्तं पतिदृष्टेन गिरीशेन प्रसीदतः तद्ध्यायन्तो जपन्तश्च पूजयन्तश्च संयतः. When all the sons of Parshivali left home to execute austerities, they met Lord Shiva, who out of great mercy instructed them about the Ashura truth. All the sons of Parshivali meditated upon the instructions, chanting and worshipping them with great care and attention. Purport. It's clear that to perform austerities or penances, or for that matter, any form of devotional service, one has to be guided by a spiritual master. Here it is clearly stated that the 10 sons of Maharaj Parshvali were favored by the appearance of Lord Shiva, who out of great kindness gave them instructions regarding the execution of austerities. Lord Shiva actually became the spiritual master of the 10 sons, and in turn his disciples took his words so seriously that simply by meditating upon his instructions, they became one. This is the secret of success. After being initiated and receiving the orders of the spiritual master, the disciple should unhesitatingly think about the instructions or orders of the spiritual master and should not allow himself to be disturbed by anything else. This is also the verdict of Srila Vishnu Jagdi Thakur, who, while explaining a verse of Bhagavad Gita, points out in the order of the spiritual master the life substance of the disciple. The disciple should not consider whether he is going back home, back to Godhead. His first business should be to execute the order of his spiritual master. Thus, a disciple should always meditate on the order of the spiritual master, and that is perfectional meditation. Not only should he meditate upon that order, but he should find out the means by which he can perfectly worship and execute it. So here, it's a story of Prachetas. It's a very amazing lesson for us to learn. So in this story of the Prachetas, so in the line of Dhruv Maharaj came Maharaj Prithu, the son of Vena. And then in Prithu Maharaj line came Parshni Bhari. Now his actual name was Bharishat. But why Prachini Bhari? Because he was expert in performing sacrificial yagyas. And for sacrificial yagyas, what do you need? You need Dhruva grass, Kusha grass. So whole of planet Earth, he put Kusha grass pointing towards east. And that's why his name became Parshni. And that's why Parshni Bharishat. Otherwise, his name was Bharishat. The Prachini, he put the Prachini grass, so became Prachini Bharishat, his name. Now he he pleased the Lord, and from Brahmaji he got a daughter named, no, the wife Satadruti, the daughter of the ocean god. The daughter was Satadruti. And when Parshni Bharishat was marrying the Satadruti, the Agnidev became attracted to Satadruti. One more incident that happened, that Agnidev became attracted to the wife of the person doing yajna, the Vivaha Sanskara. Because Agni is the Sakshi. So Devatas see everything there. So it was so beautiful. And from the womb of the Satadruti came 10 Prachetas. There. So there, they were all equal in vows and not with religiously. And the Prachetas being ordered by their father to beget children. So previously, if somebody has to enter householder life, it's not directly they just get a job and get into householder life. They will have brahmachari training, or they will do tapasya. And you find it is a common practice. In 6th canto comes Daksha Prajapati sent his 10,000 sons for doing tapasya. Right? And then he sent another 1,000 sons, and all were delivered by Narada. So here, the Prachetas are going to doing tapasya, because to rule the kingdom, to live a householder life, one needs a training. One needs brahmachari training even before entering householder life, so that one can control his senses and effectively rule the citizens. So they went for doing tapasya, and those times the ages would be 1 lakh years. It's Satyuga. Satyuga, the time lifespan was 1 lakh years. Even if you go 300, 400 years before in history, people will live for 100 years easily. Many people you'll find. Now, very difficult to find somebody's age is 100, 80, 90, and wicket is out. but in 300, 400, same way Mahabharata time, you see Arjuna, Pandavas, they all were 125 years old. Bhishma Dev was 175 years old. And they were fighting on battlefield. They were fighting on the battlefield at 125 years. Now 125 में the stick भी नहीं दिखेगा इंसान. So as the Kali Yuga is increasing, the age is decreasing. So he had that age. So if you trace back Kali Yuga, so Dwapar Yuga, the average lifespan was 1,000 years. By the end of Dwapar Yuga, it came to 100. By the end of Kali Yuga, it will come to 20 years. 20, 25 years to live the lifespan by the end of Kali Yuga. In Treta Yuga, lifespan was 10,000 years. Dasharat ruled for 10,000 years. Even Lord Ramchandra ruled for 11,000 years, something figure like that in Treta Yuga. So in Satya Yuga, the age was 1 lakh years. So they went for how much time? 10,000 years they went for Tapasya. Prachetas. There. So they entered the ocean for 10,000 years to perform austerities and worship the Supreme Lord. But on their way, while they were going for performing tapasya, they met Lord Shiva, who was pleased with them and gave them instruction. And they took the prayers of Lord Shiva very, very seriously. And 3 things they did. Samyataha, with complete control. The Prachetas meditate on the prayers given by Lord Shiva. Dhyayanta. They chanted again and again. Japantaha. And worship the instructions. Pujayanta. So here, if you see, Prabhupada is writing the purport, a disciple need not focus on going home back to guided, focus on following the instructions, he'll achieve perfection. So Prachetas, they achieve perfection by following the instructions of Lord Shiva. Now, why it is said that one should follow the instructions of the spiritual master and not focus going on back to God. Like, for example, somebody has to become one boy came in the interview, sat in the interview of a company, and he was asking, after I become GT, what will be my pay? After 2 years, what will be my pay? After 5 years, what will I be doing in the your company? What will the pay? So they keep telling. Now, what after 10 years I'm doing? I said, first you join GT, then we'll talk about it. So people are more interested what pay they get than what work they do. They have more interest in what pay they get than what work they do. But if a person works properly in the company, will your salary increase or not? The same way, if one follows the instruction of the spiritual master, then going on back to God is guaranteed. That's a performance appraisal. So, but people are more interested kitna salary mil raha hai than what work am I doing. So rather than focusing on salary, focus on serving the Lord. Focus on serving the company. Same principle. Rather than focusing, okay, when Lord will take me to spiritual world, when will I go? One should focus on serving the Lord on the instruction of the spiritual master. And when one serves the Lord the way instructed by the spiritual master, then one can very easily go back to Godhead. So Lord Shiva actually told them the prayer they should do to Lord Vishnu, to attain Lord Vishnu. So Lord Shiva instructed them what they should do. And they followed the instruction of Lord Shiva very, very deliberately, and they were perfect. And same way Prabhupada was saying, Siddhi, we are so fortunate to get this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we follow the instructions which is coming in Parampara to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and avoid four-evil principles. And don't criticize devotees. So to the degree a devotee is following the instructions of the spiritual master, to that degree what happens? One makes a spiritual advancement. And what the specific words are written over here, samyatha, complete control. See, unless we have control of senses, we cannot meditate on instructions. Our own mental thoughts will come. Okay, do this, do that, or do this. So dhyanta is very important. Then chanted. Japantaha. Now what is Japantaha? So they again meditated and chanted, repeated those instructions. There, those Rudra Gita, what Lord Shiva gave them the prayers and worship them, those instructions. And you see, whole ISKCON has come out of because Srila Prabhupada took the instructions of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur very seriously. See, Prabhupada said to his disciples who went to London that my god brothers were very, very advanced. They also went to London, but they could not do much. Though they were spiritually there, but they didn't have so much faith in the instruction of my spiritual master. But all of you, though you're new people, everything, but you had a complete faith, and that's why Krishna empowered you. So when a person has a faith in the instruction of spiritual master, one becomes empowered through the grace of Guru Parampara. And then the purification of heart happens, and person can do wonderful things, which is not ordinarily possible. And when we cut ourselves from that grace by following whimsically, by independently whatever way we want to do devotional service, we cut that grace. Because bhakti is a path of grace. See, technically speaking, how the bhakti helps, so just like the three modes are there, goodness, passion, and ignorance. So they driven all the materialistic activities in this world. Ignorance will cause sleep, madness, laziness, procrastination. Passion will cause desire to enjoy, hankerings. Passion, fights. Again, passion, ignorance will cause fights. And goodness will cause peace. Same way, there's a spiritual energy. Samvit Sannidhi Hladani. So the Hladani Shakti is responsible, the Sarupa Shakti of the Lord, it uncovers the Jiva. But three modes we are anyway bound by. But this three energies of the Lord, the Sarupa Shakti of the Lord, it is causeless. It has no the cause of three gunas is because we are associated with the three gunas from many lifetimes. So they are inevitable. But the Sarupa Shakti of the Lord is causeless. And therefore we say that bhakti is causeless. It has no cause. Anything in Rajaguna, see, Arjuna asks Krishna, what is the cause of the anger? Why a person behaves very badly? It's Krishna says, Kamesha, Krodesha, Rajaguna, Samadhana. The Rajaguna is the cause for fall down. Rajaguna. But the cause of bhakti is the Lord Himself. There is no other cause. So the only way we can make advancement in spiritual life is only by grace. And grace comes by following the acharyas. Grace comes by following the instructions of the spiritual master, following the instructions of Shiksha Gurus and Diksha Gurus. So when we follow the instructions, then the grace comes in our life. So it is not that by chanting 16 rounds, following Purva principle, we'll go back to garden. Because we are following the instruction of Acharya, and by their grace, we will go back. So bhakti is a path of grace. It's not that by chanting Hare Krishna, we'll go back to garden. The grace which is coming to the Guru Parampara by chanting, but that grace will go back to God. It's descending mercy. There. So by the grace of Lord Shiva, because they chanted, it pleased Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu appeared. So this is the science and principle of devotional service. Now, Vidur, this is the samvad happening, Vidurji and Maitreya Muni. So Vidurji is asking that what did Lord Shiva being pleased speak when the Prachetas met him? Please tell more details. You want to tell what people, you want to hear what instruction Lord Shiva gave to Prachetas, by which they attained Lord Vishnu. Okay? So, in the description, so first Prachetas had gone to lake, which is a very calm lake. There were lotuses and birds, festive atmosphere, celestial music came out. And it was a beautiful lake. And suddenly they saw Lord Shiva appeared with a golden complexion, bluish throat, and three eyes, along with his associates emerged from the lake. They all offered their obeisances to Lord Shiva. Shiva was pleased with the Prachetas because of their knowledge of dharma and their good conduct. So what was the qualification Prachetas had? Lord Shiva gave them knowledge because they were dharmagya. They had knowledge of dharma and they had a good conduct. So mercy of the spiritual master is causeless, but a person who has a good conduct will be able to take benefit of the mercy of the spiritual master. A person doesn't have a good conduct, then what happens? He will not be able to take good instructions. He will not be submissive to receive good instructions. Okay. So therefore, good conduct of a disciple, Shiva Sampanna, is important quality. And Prachetas had that. So immediately they saw Lord Shiva to ask, please tell us some good instructions, tell us, they would have same way open the heart. So Lord Shiva instructed them. So Lord Shiva will not instruct other people who say we want this, we want that, we want that. But when a person should accept a spiritual master, when he's actually looking for a spiritual knowledge, that I'm suffering in this world due to lack of Atmanya. Please tell me. Like Sanatana Goswami going to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Ki Mami. People say me, I'm a Pandit, but I'm a fool that I believe them. Because I don't know who am I, why am I suffering, what is the goal of life. So it's called Sadharma Prachaha. So for the step of success, inquire. So one should submissively inquire. We assume many things, we don't inquire. So inquire, hear, and apply. Then a person makes a spiritual advancement. So Lord Shiva said, good fortune unto you. I know your plans and have come here to give you mercy. So Lord Shiva is Charachar Guru. So he knows what's happening in life of Prachetas. So he comes, okay, I know you want to achieve Lord Krishna. So I have come here. See, when you want to achieve Lord Vishnu, Krishna will send a Guru. It happened in case of Dhruv Maharaj. So when you seriously want Krishna, Krishna will give guidance. to us in life. So Lord Shiva came, I know because you want Krishna, so I came. And Lord Shiva says, my devotees are not so dear to me. Krishna's devotee is very dear to me. And you see also, demigod worshippers, they are destroyed. But demigods will favor the devotees of Krishna because they are very happy. Isn't it? See, we also, even some non-devotee will come, very much praise you, glorify you, worship you. You may not so much like, but a devotee, you will like. Isn't it? Because it's devotee of Krishna. But somebody is a non-devotee. He may praise you, then you may end up as giving Krishna consciousness. If he's not receiving Krishna consciousness, you may not keep much business with him. But transaction करके वापस चल दिए घर. That generally devotees will do. But some devotees there, you will take prasad with him, discuss Krishna Katha with him, isn't it? So Lord Shiva is also a great devotee. So he takes pleasure in Satam Prasanga Dhamavir Sambhavo Bhavante Hitkan Rasayana Katha. So Lord Shiva is waiting, अरे कहीं तो assembly लग जाए ना भगवान की चर्चा हो जाए. In Bhagavata, many places you'll find Lord Shiva is doing discourse. So devotees are there. So some Krishna charcha will happen, and that's why he likes devotees. So Krishna devotee is dear to me. Anyone who is completely surrendered to Vasudeva, the controller of everything, is actually very dear to me. Yet paramam rahasam shakshanti gunaj samhitam. So attaining, and they say, a person fixed in dharma for 100 births attains the post of Brahma. If 100 births, you do full dharmic activity, you live on planet Earth. Power in Kali Yuga is too difficult. Kali Yuga only way is Hare Nam Eva Kevala. There, so when the Vanashrama Dharma was there on planet Earth, you perform 100 lifetimes, you get the post of Brahma. But and by more pious acts, one approaches Lord Shiva, go to Shivloka. But by unalloyed devotion service, a Vaishnava attains Vaikuntha. Therefore, devotees like you are as dear to me as Lord Himself, and the devotees also consider me as dear to them as the Lord Himself. So the devotee of the Lord also loves Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva also loves the devotees. So let me give you a pure, auspicious, and transcendental mantra, the chanting of which bestows the highest benefit. Nishreshaya Kara. So with a merciful heart, Shiva spoke to the Prachetas who stood with folded hand. Now these prayers, what Lord Shiva is telling, they're technical prayers. And that is why, if you have to understand remaining Bhagavatam, you should learn second, third cantos very nicely. Because the same concept, technical concepts of second and third cantos you will find in all prayers, and you feel it's too boring if you have not learned them at the right time. So here Lord Shiva is also speaking about prayers to the four deities, Chaturvya. Who is a Chaturvya? Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. So they are the four deities of the Antakaran. So we read about Antakaran. Now what is this Antakaran? Man, Buddhi, Ahankara and Chitta. This four together becomes the Antakaran. So Vasudeva is the presiding deity of Chitta, our consciousness, by which we know the things. The same way, Sankarshan is the presiding deity of Ahankara. Pradyumna is the presiding deity of intelligence. Pradyumna, Brahma. And Aniruddha is a deity of mind. So there are four representatives in this world also. Of course, Lord Vasudeva, nobody can name. Lord Vasudeva is there. So Sankarshan representative Lord Shiva. Pradyumna, Brahma, and Aniruddha, moon. There. But we need not worship moon, Brahma, or Shiva. We can worship Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. There. So by worshiping. So they are praying obeisances to the Lord. You are the best of the self-lives. Since you are always auspicious of self-lives, you are worshipable by virtue of the all-perfect instructions you give. This is prayer to Lord Vasudeva. So let me also have let me have perfection by worshipping you. That's the inherent meaning. So this is to the Supreme Lord. So then prayer comes to Vasudeva. That Lord, you are the controller of the senses and sense objects. Who? Vasudeva. And what is the purpose? Please make my chitta peaceful and unchanging and make it conscious of bhakti by revealing your beauty. Because Krishna can only be revealed in chitta, not in man, neither in buddhi, neither in ahankara. Because chitta is the original consciousness of the soul. So in consciousness, this is probably the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We can become Krishna conscious. Krishna Bhavna Bhavit. Krishna Bhavna Amrit. So Krishna Bhavana. Bhavana is in Chitta. It awakens there. Then he prays to Sankarshan. You are the master of disintegration or destroyer of the universe. And you are the deity of false ego. So bind my possessive knot to the Lord and remove my ahankara. And make me a devotee. Identify me as a devotee. Then you do prayer to Pradyumna, that you are the enlightener of the universe, because there is sum total of all intelligence, right? By which you think, know things. So wake up my intelligence so it will situate me in bhakti. And it prays to Anirudh, mind, or mind, Anirudh is the director of the mind, which is the chief of the senses. So attract my mind to Lord's lotus feet through bhakti alone and keep it in the perfect state of cleanness. So let my mind be attracted to this. So let my chitta be attracted to you, my Lord. Let your beauty manifest in my chitta. Let my consciousness get attracted by your form. Let my false ego be purified. I understand that I am your servant. Let my intelligence seek only one thing, you alone. That bhakti. And let my mind be attached to you, my Lord. So this is the first pillar of the Rudra Gita. So after purifying the four components, then he prays to the deities of five elements: eye, speech, mind, taste, air, and sound. And then the Hiranyagarbha, the universal form of the Lord. So he prays to Surya, that may my eyes be purified to see the form of the Lord. See, Surya Dev is the revealer of the object. So what happens when a person keeps seeing the form of the Lord and avoid the forms of this material world? So what happens? Don't do this. So what happens? Remove the form of the. If one keeps seeing the form of the Lord only and don't see the forms of material beauties of this world, then Lord being pleased ordered the Surya Devata. That Surya Devata will fix a person's mind towards Lord's form and will not be attracted by the forms of this world. That's how it happened, by pure devotional. Listen up, that a devotee who performs pure devotional service, all good qualities comes in a devotee. So when we keep seeing the Lord's form and don't see the material forms, don't see wrong movies, don't watch wrong pictures and things, so then Lord will say, oh, this devotee is very nice, he's only attracted. So then Lord will order Surya, and then Surya will make our eyes attracted to Lord's form, not to others' form of this world. There. So that's why we should avoid looking towards Maya and see towards Krishna. Then Krishna will make arrangement. But you secretly will keep looking towards Maya, to our material beauty, attraction for Krishna will not awake. But you give up that attraction, then Krishna will empower with us attraction in our eyes towards him. Then Agni. So engage my words in chanting the glories of the Lord. So we just keep speaking, Prajalpa here and there. But we should engage the words in chanting the glories of the Lord. Then our speech becomes perfect. Speech becomes perfect. Same way, please purify my depths to the Pita, Devata, sages, and jivas and completely engage my mind in bhakti. There. And make my tongue taste the sweetness of things related to the Lord. Let me not taste anything except prasadam. So it's praying to Soma, moon. And then Hiranyagarbha, Virat Rupa, there. And then Vayu. Then give me only nose, which glory to smell objects offered to the Lord. And reveal me and the eyes, then the ears, sound. That make my ears hear about the beauty of the Lord, reveal the meaning of the name, mantra, and bhakti scriptures. And Supreme Lord Krishna, I offer my respects to you, who is the topmost of all benedictor, the supreme Manu, perfection of all kinds of mantras. And then Lord Shiva, glory, gave them a mantra of the particular form of the Lord. So they were meditating on what form of the Lord? The Lord glistens like a dark, like a rain cloud, sum total of all beauty, four long arms, no attractive face. Lord has eyes like lotus petal. If it's whenever you read Bhagavatam, Lord description is given again and again. So whenever we see Lord's darshan, we should take the darshan of each limbs of the Lord. Means in detail, we should see the Lord's beauty. See, to the degree we use our intelligence to see how the Lord is dressed, how the Lord's beauty is, to the degree we will be free from our material intelligence. Because material intelligence will find out, oh, this sense object is very nice, that looks very attractive, that looks very attractive. The same intelligence we have to transform towards seeing the beauty of the Lord. Then mind intelligence gets purified. So therefore, every place Bhagavatam, you see any pastime will come, Lord's glories will be mentioned. And we hear it carefully, how the Lord's form is, and visualize it. Meditate upon that form of the Lord. The Lord having four hands and eyes, very beautiful eyes, like lotus petals. Somebody's eyes are very, goes here, looks very beautiful. So Lord's eyes are the most beautiful thing in the whole creation. See, somebody smiles till here, it looks very beautiful. The Lord's smile is the most beautiful smile in this world. And his graceful brows and raised nose, fine teeth and forehead, and well proportioned decorated ears. The Lord's joyful glance indicates his affection. His beauty is enchanted by his curling hair. His cloth grows like lotus pollen. He had a necklace, anklet, and a belt. It's a beautiful form. And Lord's lion-like shoulder glitter with reflection with his jewel. Lord has a Kaustubha jewel. And whole description. And then finally, Lord's lotus feet are described. That your two lotus feet are as beautiful as two autumn lotus petals. Lord's lotus feet is glorified. So like the Lord's beautiful is glorified. Now hearing these prayers of the Prachitas for doing tapasya for 10,000 years, Lord finally appeared to the Prachitas. And what did Lord spoke to them when the Lord appeared? So you can put this to 4.30.8. So Lord said to the Prachitas, and no, Lord is not praising their tapasya, that you did tapasya for 10,000 years. What Lord is praising? Let us see. What does Lord praise after the 10,000th of Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Varam Vinitvam Bhadramvo Yoyam Panandanaha Sohadena Pathak Dharma Krishtoham Saridena Vam. So Varam Vinitvam Bhadramvo. So two words is coming again. One word, Sahradena. Sahradena means friendly attitude with each other. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear sons of the King, I am very much pleased by the friendly relationships among you. All of you are engaged in one occupation, devotional service. I am so pleased with your mutual friendship that I wish you all good fortune. Now you may ask a benediction of purport. Since the sons of King Parishnivarsha were all united in Krishna consciousness, the Lord was very pleased with them. Each and every one of the sons of King Parishnivarsha was individual soul, but they were united in offering transcendental service to the Lord. The unity of the individual souls attempting to satisfy the Supreme Lord or rendering service to the Lord is real unity. In the material world, such unity is not possible. Even though people can officially unite, they all have different interests. In the United Nations, for instance, all the nations have their particular national ambitions, and consequently, they cannot be united. This unity between individual souls is so strong within this material world that even in a society of Krishna consciousness, members sometimes appear disunited due to their having different opinions and leaning toward material things. Actually, in Krishna consciousness, there cannot be two opinions. There is only one goal. to serve Krishna to one's best ability. If there is some disagreement over some service, such disagreement is to be taken as spiritual. Those who are actually engaged in the service of Supreme Personal Godhead cannot be disunited in any circumstance. This makes the Supreme Personality of Godhead very happy and willing to award all kinds of benediction to his devotees, as indicated in this verse. We can see that the Lord is immediately prepared to award all benediction to the sons of King Parshini Parishad. So two things, Prabhupada say, in material world, unity is very difficult. And actually it happens also when we take some flat for a place, for our center, and the owner asks how many people will stay. We say 8-10 people will stay. They get shocked how 8-10 people can stay together in a place. And that also working software engineers who are earning a lot of money, how they can stay together. It's incomprehensible. But actually because devotees are so engaged keeping Krishna in the center, they have no time to fight. And they can stay there. So this is what I'm saying, that there is no unity possible in material life, but in Krishna consciousness, unity is possible. And because the goal is to serve Krishna. But even sometimes the members also appear disunited. It is due to their having different opinions and leaning toward material. So that gives us a hint then why there is a disunity in our even devotee circle. And we can work upon this disunity. So one thing we understand, one principle we understand, when we unitedly perform devotional service, Lord becomes very pleased with that devotional service. See, one is called individual performance, that I do my best bhakti. And one is team performance. So our movement is Kirtan or Sankirtan? Sankirtan. So when we do devotional service together with devotees, that pleases the Lord very much. If we go alone to a dham, that will not please the Lord so much. But when we go in a yatra with other devotees to the dham, and we make a priority to hearing from saintly people or from senior devotees. So that yatra is very pleasing to the Lord there. And it has a purification. So sometimes there is a fear. If I stay with devotees or if I too close with devotees, I may commit offenses or difficulties will happen. Yes, it may be difficult. Why? Because natural position of a living entity, I want to be a master. But when you are with other devotees, you need to be servant. So it becomes difficult. And somebody who is in the mood of servant, he will like the association of devotees. But if you're a master, means you want to be alone in your own place. So therefore, when we stay with other devotees and perform bhakti, the purification happens very fastly in our life. Jai Shri Ram, this is So very fast purification happens when we perform bhakti along with all devotees. And the taste is very different. One lecture my spiritual master was saying that when we perform, when all devotees have unity amongst their heart, in their heart, they have great unity. And in that Sangha, they come and perform Kirtan. What happens? The Krishna personally manifests in that Kirtan. Why? Krishna becomes pleased that these devotees are living together and they don't have envy towards each other. So mood of Vaikuntha is that all devotees together they perform Sankirtan, keeping the Lord in the center. And there's a difference between a neophyte devotee and a Madhyamadikari. A Kanishadikari only just have the Lord and a spiritual master on the altar. That much Kanishadikari. But to other devotees, he has no access. I should make friendship with the devotees, and he will feel very lonely. Oh, Prabhu, I don't have good devotees only around me. Whom I should make friendship. I don't relate with any devotee. And some devotee who is 1,000 miles far, that are very good devotees. But devotees who are staying here, they are all neophyte devotees. So this is a condition in a neophyte stage there. Because something is far, you don't interact with them. So your ego doesn't get hurt. So they are good. And those whom we are staying with, our ego gets hurt. So it's not so good. So so as we make progress in devotional service, our false ego is purified. Especially when we perform devotional service and association of devotees. So Lord wondered, see, it's not very easy for munis to cooperate. You know who was Kalia in last life? He was a muni. So there was Kalia, this muni was doing tapasya in his cave, and he went for some time. Others muni came and occupied that cave. And when that muni came, how could you came my cave? And he cursed him. So one cousin to become a snake, another person cursed him to become a crow. So crow became Kakbhushandi, and this muni became Kalia. Lord came, roko apna fight, you are both are my devotees. There, both are munis there, and they became that. And finally, Lord showered their mercy to both this Kakbhushandi ji and to Kalia. So it's not very easy for people to cooperate. Even people are doing great tapasya. They will be criticizing others. But when the Lord sees that 10 people, Rachita, the two brothers, and there is no competence, I am greater than you, and they together are coming and performing the tapasya. So what happened? When performing the tapasya, what happens with that? Yes, the Lord said, right, these people cooperated and keeping me at the center. Now they've already reached Vaikuntha. Because Vaikuntha, that's the way. Vaikuntha, there is a cooperation between all living entities, and that's how the Lord will enjoy. Now, see, in Vaikuntha, all our devotees are Lord, but each other they are fighting. And if some service is there for some other devotee, they are not liking that. They are not liking it, each other. Lord, iske saath seva nahi karunga. Lord, uske saath karunga. You understood? Well, what will Vaikuntha will be? But everybody is Lord, I just want to be the servant of your servant. I will cooperate with any devotee you put me into. Every devotee is a very nice devotee. Lord said, you are a very good devotee. The same way, when we start feeling like with Vaishnavas, like this family, then Lord said, you come to Vaikuntha. So one time, Anantacharya, he was, and see, don't think in Vaikuntha also every devotee is alike. In Vaikuntha also there are different shades of devotees having different opinion. But everybody has great love for the Supreme Lord. Because so every jiva is an individual jiva. So there will be variety with each jiva. Now you see, Rukmani's Subhava and Satyabhama Subhava is completely different. When Krishna trying to rebuke Rukmani, thinking that Rukmani will become angry. So Krishna was telling Rukmani, why you married me? You could have married Shishupal. I was not interested in you. Actually, I wanted to give a good lesson to Shishupal. That's why I kidnapped you. I was not interested in you. And I'm not a king also. I have so many Shadru. Better you get married to somebody else. He's heading to Rukmani. And Rukmani here, and Krishna thought Rukmani will become angry, there. And Rukmani fainted. So Rukmani could not become angry. And Satyabhama. So one time, Krishna got one Parijas flower and he gave it to Rukmani. And that's all. And Satyabhama went to Kopabhavan. अब जब तक तो मुझे पूरा पेड़ नहीं लाके दोगे, I will not, हम चुप नहीं बैठने वाले. Now, do you think Satyabhama is behaving like this? But why is Satyabhama behaving like this? It's pleasing to the Lord. Because see, when you eat a food, eat your prasadam. So you want only sweet, everything sweet? No, you want chili also. And if prasadam is too sattvic, it's difficult to eat, right? And if elder hamesha sattvic prasad banta hai. So you need chili in food. You need some jaggery in food. You need some lemon also. Yes or no? It's not sweet is only mode of goodness. केवल boiled sabji खाएंगे, boiled rice खाएंगे. That doesn't work. You need some masala. So rasa means all rasas are there. See, 5 primary rasas are there and 7 secondary rasas are there. And 7 secondary rasas are man, hasya, comedy. So Lord likes all these things also. He likes comedy. He also likes when Satyabhama becomes angry and demands something. Then Lord will, do something. So it appears like a handpicked husband, but Lord is enjoying. And Satyabhama is very conscious that Lord is pleased with my this behavior, and she is behaving like that. There, Samanina there. So the point is, everyone now Mayavad concept says everybody should be humble. They should say this. Everybody should know. Every devotee means he should come. Prabhuji, please give me seva. Prabhuji, can you do this seva? Even if you don't follow my instructions, I don't worry, Prabhuji. No. Now Hanuman will say to Ravana, oh Prabhuji, Hanumanji, go and break the head of Ravana. Whole Lanka. Now I say, Prabhu, this devotee is not good because he has some violence. So we have a very Mayavad conception in our mind, where we see every devotee should be same. But if you go to spiritual world, not every devotee is same. Now see the contrast between Yudhishthira and Bhima. Both are pure devotees. Bhimsen is also pure devotee. Yudhishthira also is a pure devotee. So both are, but big contrast. Bhima is saying, "Abhi jaake marta hu, karo." And this is saying, "Wait." But Bhimsen is submissive to Yudhishthira. So different devotees will have different thought. All of them love Krishna. All of them are obedient to Krishna and pure devotees of Krishna. And they even absorb the Svabhava to serve the Lord when required. So devotional service is something different. So see, there is a conditional Svabhava and there is a spiritual Svabhava. The conditional Svabhava is centered on lust. What will give me happiness? And the spiritual Svabhava is about what will give pleasure to the Lord. So Satyabhama wanting a Parijat flower looks like a conditioned Svabhava, but she has only desire to please Krishna. She is not worried about Parijat. She wants Krishna only there. But she behaving like this to please Krishna. So it becomes a spiritual Svabhava. So spiritual Svabhava is one in which a person is desiring to please Krishna. And a conditioned Svabhava is person's own conditioned nature coming from a selfish background of the past. So the point is, devotees will have different Svabhava. Now, when we are living with the devotees in this world, they will have conditioned Svabhava. They may not have spiritual Svabhava. But the point is, we also understand there is a variety. There is a variety, and we all are here to serve Krishna. Then, when we accept that, then there could be unity in diversity. That every devotee will think differently. Everybody will have their own opinion and they will have their material needs. But what pleases Guru is cooperation. And with that cooperation, we keep the movement, we keep the preaching going, our services going. It's not that for cooperation I stop my services. But while cooperating, let our services and preaching keep growing. And that purifies the heart of devotees. Like 2 devotees, they were in the same project. So we told them, see, the first success of your project is how both of you cooperate. Generally, success is seen in number of how many people you made devotees, how many people receive Lord's mercy. But another criteria of success is how both of you cooperate in order to distribute Lord's mercy. There. Because Lord is pleased when he sees 2 devotees having friendly behavior. Because see, the unfriendly behavior, we are not able to make a relationship, right? Or we finding fault with each other comes from the envy. And Krishna doesn't like envy in our heart. And when we give up envy, we can make friendship with everybody. Adveshta sar bhutanam maitri karune vacha. So this quality of Adveshta nam, Krishna likes very much. Adveshta. No envy there. And then you feel good about everybody in this world. Vasudev Kutumukam. And generally, envy will come out towards people who are living very close with us, whether they are devotees or non-devotees. Those people, we will always have relationship with problems with somebody whom we are living very close with. And that problem is not problem in them, that problem is due to our own envy. And when we give up that envy, then we can have friendship with everybody. And that's why you see in Srimad Bhagavatam, this quality of having friendly relationship with all living entities. Friendly means good wishes relationship. We will not friend with everybody, but that adveshta, not having sarvbhutanam, sarvbhutanuranjana, pleasing all every living entity is very much spoken in Srimad Bhagavatam again and again. If you see Parikshit Maharaj is saying, Lord, I want to have friendly association of devotees and friendly relationship with all living entities. If I even take birth again. Now, in Dhruv Maharaj Samvad, Maitreya is glorifying Dhruv Maharaj for two things: following the instruction of his spiritual master Narada, and to have good wishes to all living entities. Because he gave a fight with the Yaksha, right? It was not so easy thing. He make again Maitri with Kubera, Dhruv Maharaj. So Sar Bhutanu Ranjana, that quality is described. Again, the same quality in Prachetas, two qualities. They took the instructions of Lord Shiva very seriously, and secondly, they had friendship with each other. So we have to focus on two qualities in our spiritual life: is follow the instructions of the Guru Parampara, of the Acharyas and the Siksha Gurus or the mentors we have. If we develop that quality of following the instructions, we can make quick advancement. And second is have a friendly relationship with everybody, neglecting to see unity in diversity. See their good intention to serve Krishna, then seeing what Swabhava, different Swabhava they have. And these two things are very, very pleasing to the Lord, and we can make very, very fast spiritual progress there. And if you see the 12 qualities of devotees, Krishna again mentioned he has a friendly relationship with others. He doesn't put anybody into trouble, neither he's put into trouble by somebody else. And he has friendly relationship with everybody, and he performs unalloyed devotional service to me there. So this pastimes of Prachetas is very, very enlightening. And when people around see that devotees are living so cooperatively, this is like a spiritual world. See how people get faith in our philosophy when they see the result of that philosophy. Same way in your home also, if in your home you are performing devotional service, what family members will expect? अरे कितना behavior change हुआ, गुस्सा शांत हुआ या नहीं हुआ, अभी भी गुस्सा करते हैं, फिर क्या तुम भगवान की पूजा कर रहे हो? So the result of our practice comes in good behavior. Of course, more important is a strict practice. Sometimes a devotee may have some behavior of becoming angry, of there, but more important is a devotee practicing strictly. And then the secondary behavior is seen where a person's good qualities comes, this person gives up anger, person, behaves everybody very nicely. And then people understand how spirituality has transformed this person. Like one example, in one place there was an MLA. So this MLA was a relative of our devotee. And this devotee was preaching, and this MLA would do all nonsense thing, eat meat and all that, eat so much chicken and so much daru party and all that. But by the preaching of this devotee, he became a devotee and now became a Pakka devotee. And when he started preaching, hundreds of people became devotees, seeing the transformation. So what gives faith to people in pursuit of Krishna consciousness? Transformation in our own heart. And then they see people are living very cooperatively. That gives faith to our family members. So you have to convince our family members about our devotional service, perform bhakti nicely, and live friendly with other people while protecting your bhakti. People will get faith. Kuch to change isme. And it happens. When we're performing chanting attentively, our heart is purified of falsehood. And then we can behave with everybody in a nice manner, in a respectful manner, and we can do that. And in a course of time while living in devotees association, we will get many chances of purification. And we take it humbly, gratefully, and go on. And slowly, slowly, what will happen? We'll get completely purified. Like kacha aam and pakka aam. So the ripe mango is very sweet, but unripe mango is very kacha. Some people like that also. But most people like the, how many like the ripe mango over unripe mango? Almost everyone, right? So now the devotee, a new devotee is like an unripe mango, kacha. But the kacha aam, loo lagti hai usme. No hot winds. But what is the mango's duty? Just keep himself on the tree. Many winds will come, hot summers will come. Just keep connected to the tree. It will become right. It will become right. The same way, if a devotee keeps connected, his connection to Guru Parampara, and keep doing his seva, keep chanting, by the process of time, he'll become very, very sweet. Okay. And that sweet mango will be tasted by their lordship. And anybody who's meet the devotee feels, oh, such a nice devotee. Right? So that's how the qualities develop in a devotee by following these two principles. So any questions? Yes.
Acharyas of Guru and Acharyas grace and Mahamantra. Some people they will be chanting very good, sincerely Mahamantra. So but they are not in Parampara. What will be their position in Bhakti?
See, the Shastra explain that even Bahukoti Shravana Kirtan, meant for many, many lifetimes, he chants the Mahamantra or do sharing the word. Still, he will not find love of God. So chanting will surely is beneficial. His path will go away. But to get prema, we need mercy of devotees, mercy of Guru. We not get prema without mercy of the spiritual master. And if we, and also the offenses will be removed when there is a surrender to Guru Parampara. Then the real nature of the mantra will have effect. Any other question on the chat? On the so thank you very much for coming. Kansa Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Rudra Geet ki jai.